Hey, it's Trudy from Head of Happiness, and let's talk a little bit about basic transits for the upcoming month. So we're going to have Pluto turning direct on October 4th as Mars sizzles backwards into Pisces. We know Mars is retrograding until November, around November 13th. So this is also could impact, something could get screwed up on election day and things could shift then around the 13th. But when Mars goes direct, everything goes full speed ahead. Things fall back into place and big shifts happen. So that's going to be into November. But what Mars is doing in this week, like October 4th, is it goes backwards into Pisces. And when anything goes from fire to water in Indian astrology, it's called a Gandanta zone. So there's like a sizzle off or like a more dynamic growth point there that we get challenged. So we're going to go from the fiery intensities of the early degrees of Aries into the letting go and more gentle Pisces energy. So it will actually tone down some of the aggression that looks like, if you haven't noticed in your environment, people have been a little more aggressive. So this should tone that down as we go backwards. But there's like a little soul growth knot, so that can also aggravate it for a little while as it changes back into Pisces, which isn't too long. So it's just for like a day. And then we get Pluto going direct. So Pluto went retrograde around April 25th, and now it's going direct. It's outer planet stuff. So even in Indian astrology, they never had Pluto as a planet because they didn't actually see it. So it was never included. So a real Vedic astrologer will tell you nothing about Pluto, Neptune, or Uranus. However, since my roots were from Western astrology and then I came in to study the Vedic astrology, the Jyotish, I still have this pretty experience of those three outer planets in my life. So I still include them. Pluto can create, I saw it kind of can bring a shadow influence for sure, like a darker influence into things. But it's going direct, so that's good news. And Saturn has just gone direct, and that's been the big story. Saturn turning direct on Monday, which was this past Monday, which is the 28th. And Saturn, it's got a long list of side effects, like a pharmaceutical drug, it can bring on depression or melancholy, or it creates, everything seems to go in slow motion. Its movement is not documented in memes, but to me it should be, because it's really an authentic shift and of energy. It's like compression, it's seriousness, it's soberness, it's get to work. It's like just handle work, and status quo. It's not jump for joy transit. It's really not. Usually it takes about 2 weeks. So it's like a week in. So we've already hit, last week, and now we're working out of it. But we do have the shift of Pluto and Mars as we get around to the 4th. So we're going to come right out of this Saturn Saturn turning direct out of retrograde and the pressures of that. And then we're going to go into the, this Pluto direct, and, it's a shift. So that brings a more dynamic week, Also, you might find Saturn, when it changes direction, whether it's retrograde or direct, it brings your health issues sort of get aggravated. So people, if you have back problems, those can get worse. Anything internally with your health could be your body feels it. So take your vitamins, and guard your health when Saturn changes direction. Also, what we have is for this month, so after that, the next big player is Mercury retrograding around October 13th. So that's mid-month. and that goes until November 3rd, Election Day. And Election Day is a screwball of a day. Mercury turns direct at 1 p.m. But Mercury, just because it turned direct, bing, doesn't mean we're going to get the full effect of that Mercury just clean sailing. It takes a couple days before and after to balance itself out. So there could be definitely a lot of confusion around Election Day. Something could occur. And the moon is going to be with Rahu, which is the north node, which brings in anxieties and fears and good morning, my friend. Anxiety and fears. And so that's exact at midnight. But that's also, we feel that coming in all day. That moon approaching the north node and in that zone, it's not an emotionally comfortable day. And it's exact at midnight, and it starts to clear in the morning as we wake up. So that's Election Day. Halloween. Yay, we love costumes and kids, and I don't love candy so much, but it's like, a Reese's peanut butter cup is always good. But this Halloween, we're not going to have it could be an exciting and electric Halloween because Moon is conjunct Uranus in Aries. All right, so Moon Uranus days are usually pretty punchy. So there'll be a lot of energy for Halloween, and people will be motivated to do some fun things. But Venus is debilitated in Virgo. So to me, debilitated Venus is more like, the costumes aren't going to be over the hill. We do have that thrifty Saturn in Capricorn, so people aren't going to be wanting to really invest in big Halloween expenditures. So that's going to kill it, make it a little low key, but it won't stop it from being exciting. Sun debilitates every year when it goes into Libra. And I know I'm talking sidereal time. I don't want to confuse you guys that use the Western calendar. I use sidereal time, which is actually aligned to true astronomy. And this is another talk. And in a nutshell, if you're using Western astrology, you're using sidereal, you're not using sidereal time. You're using tropical zodiac. Western astrology uses tropical zodiac. Tropical zodiac takes the seasons into astrology. So what they do is they force the first day of spring to be the first day of Aries. Okay? Now, if you want to use astronomy aligned to the stars, which is sidereal time, and that's correct astronomy, then you would use the astronomically correct first day of Aries. And that's what they do in India and Jyotish and, Tibet and all the astrologies in the East that never got interrupted by the Middle Ages, Catholicism, or Christianity, church influences that knocked out the earlier uses of astrology like the Romans had. Anyway, last guy to talk about astrology in Western culture was Ptolemy around 200 AD. And the sun, AD, So when he wrote his books, the sun was in Aries in the first day of spring. Okay, so that being said, if I haven't lost you on this discussion, our first day of Aries is really April 14th in sidereal time, in Jyotish, Indian astrology, in the Tibetan astrology, and all these astrologies that really follow what's in the sky. Because the Earth has a wobble. We lose about a degree every 100 years. And there's no way that you're going to make me use Western astrology or even think that tropical zodiac is some kind of appropriate, way to set an astrological calendar. Astronomy is what astrology is based on, and that's why astronomers don't respect Western astrologers. Anyway, so that being said, really, the sun goes into Libra on October 17th, where it is debilitated. Okay, because Libra is a relationship sign, and so it's looking to the other, and the sun is supposed to be about ego, right? Me, who I am. So when it goes into Libra, every time I meet a true Libra at the store with the sun in Libra, anyway, they're like always talking about their partner. So when the sun goes into Libra, we have basically, it's a weaker time of year. The sun is actually going to its descent for the winter, so it gets weaker. And you can feel your immune system challenged. Usually by the end of October, you got the guard for colds and stuff like that. So, this is when I see a debilitated Virgo, Venus in Virgo and debilitated sun. So Venus goes into Virgo the 23rd, but the sun goes into Libra the 17th. So as we get into later October, you got to guard, and we're going to have Mars in Pisces, which is retrograding. These are all, to me, like, I got to guard my immune system. So do what you can to build up your health. Take extra walks. Do a little more immunity protection. Maybe supplements if you have anything simple that you do for yourself. You should be doing it at this time to keep yourself going, because your immunity could take a hit. And we all know that's not very good these days. So Mars gets its strength as it goes direct in mid-November, and it actually goes into Aries. So through the holidays, December and into January. So when Mars is in Aries, it's super strong, and then we get that angst and that shamanistic crazy extra strong Mars, which is good for immunity and our health, but it's not so good for the public if things are angering people. Can make people more aggressive. All right, talk to you soon. Namaste. Have a great day, and managing the planets. It's one thing to tell you what's happening, but you still got to live through it. All right, all the best out there.